Morning, everybody. This is Pastor John with another edition of Monday Morning Quarterback. So yesterday, during the sermon, we concluded the book of Jonah. And if you remember the story, the fourth chapter is sort of the chapter that never gets told in this story, But Jonah has successfully convinced the Ninevites to repent of their violence and their evil. And he's upset about it. He's mad because God is actually not going to punish them. And he is sitting on a hillside like a whiny child. Even talks about ending his life because he's so frustrated with God. He's frustrated with God's love and grace. And the point I made in the sermon was that, Jonah could not learn to let go and let God, and he couldn't let go of his ancient prejudice, his bitter ethnic rivalry, and let God's grace transform the world. He couldn't seem to do that. Now, in the sermon, I pointed out that phrase, let go and let God, as far as I've been able to trace its origins, comes from 12-step recovery movements like Alcoholics Anonymous. And in the context of recovery, what it means is that we let go in order to experience the healing and wholeness in our lives. It's necessary to let go of the things that bring us down. Let go of the things that cause us, to make bad choices, the shame, the bitterness, any of those things. It's important to let go of those things and let God work in us to make a new creation. Now, there's an important reality about letting go and letting God. Oftentimes people think that if you're able to let go of the desire to avenge yourself or something, or let go of your anger towards somebody who may have wronged you, if you're able to let go of them, that's a sign of weakness. They think it's a sign of weakness because you're not exacting revenge, or you're not, getting your pound of flesh or whatever. What I want to tell you is that letting go and letting God is not an act of weakness, and it is not a passive act. Those involved in the recovery movement, for example, are not passively sitting by waiting for God's healing to occur. They are vigorously working the 12-step program in an effort to make space in their souls for the work of God to happen. They are preparing their hearts and their minds for a gift of new life. Now, in the same exact way, those seeking to know God in the church do not do this from the sidelines. They get involved. They get involved in Bible study. They get involved in fellowship. They get involved in serving others. They give, they serve, they learn. They participate in the life of the church because they know that is how to let go of their personal ambition and let God use their lives for God's purpose. But more than that, letting go and letting God also means that we let go of our personal prejudices, our personal biases, those things that have separated us, not only from the love of God, but from the love of our fellow human beings. Letting go is a courageous act because it actually lets go of those things that skew our perception, skew our consciousness, and allows God to show us the world as it truly is, as God created it. Letting go and letting God is not the passive act of someone who is spiritually weak. Letting go and letting God is the courageous act of the committed spirit. It is the faithful act. It is the hopeful act of the faithful spirit. And it is the loving act of the caring spirit. We have to learn to reframe this issue because our culture does not understand true strength versus true weakness. Physical power is not true strength. That's all physical power is physical power. True strength resides not only in our ability to have others do as we think right it also lies in our ability to endure for a higher purpose. And that's something that people with traditional notions of power really have no concept about. It is only people who have suffered, who have been on the margins, who have been excluded, who have been put down, who have been pushed aside. These are the people who know the true courage and strength that it takes to get up and face another day. Letting go and letting God is not weakness. It is strength. And if you are learning to do that, I want to encourage you on that journey because you are on the right path. Keep at it. You will fail, but you get up and you try again. And let God's grace cover our failures, our slip-ups, our missteps. But don't stop. Don't stop going. Don't stop walking. Don't stop that spiritual journey. Keep going, learning to let go and let God. Have a wonderful week, my friends. God bless.